What's up, everybody? I think we're going live. I think it's working. We've had some fun little technical snafus already, so we're going strong so far. I hope this message finds all of you guys safe and healthy, and wherever you are in the world at home. I think stay-at-home orders are in most places still on. In New York City, where I am, they just extended the stay at home till May 28th, I think. It's currently May 16th. So we got another 12 days of this at least until then things start to maybe, hopefully, slowly peak back to normal. But in the meantime, we got to be safe and healthy because unfortunately, this is a deadly disease. And you know, my first thing I want to say is sending out my condolences to a fan whose mother actually passed because of this. It's incredibly sad, and we're all thinking about you. We're all with you. It's a sad thing, but you know, hopefully we can bring everybody together and make this live stream a bit of a salve in this difficult time. So, welcome to the Coronapalooza live stream. We are going to figure out if I can fuck this up. I managed to not fuck it up that badly last time, which I'm pretty happy about. So we'll see if we can maintain that. Like I said, I'm in New York City, in Manhattan, in NoHo. In my little apartment. Tasha's over there. You can't see her yet. Bill's asleep over there. Bush is right here. If you can see her, that's little Bush. And my arms look like this because I'm using Tasha's crazy camera, which has a crazy-ass wide-angle lens. So we've got a lot of fun stuff planned for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. First off, hello and how are you? Second off, today I'm going to be teasing my single ATM. I'm going to be playing it later in my DJ set, so stay tuned for that. What else are we gonna do? Oh, for ATM for the music video. Don't forget, if you don't know about this and this is new to you, pay attention. If you send a photo or a video of yourself that's money related, like I said in the little teaser, you could be swimming in a pile of cash, you could be using one of those Instagram filters, you could do whatever the fuck you want. But as long as it's money related, picture or video or both, whatever you want, send it to info@warnercase.com by May 22nd. So that's info@warnercase.com. May 22nd. And then maybe later in the show, maybe I'm going to trim my mustache. I don't know. You guys voted on it, and it was dead. It was a dead heat. It was crazy. It was like right down the middle until the very end when the no, don't shave your mustache camp succeeded by a narrow margin. But as much as I love all of you, and that's so much, I also love not pissing off my wife too much, and she hates this thing so much. So much. It's a good thing she can't leave me right now, because she would otherwise for sure. But first up, we'll be talking to my good friend, fellow producer, Lefty, who we're going to be talking to. He is in his apartment. I think he's in his apartment. He's either in his apartment or his studio in Brooklyn. I think he's in Greenpoint. So we're not actually not that far away, but unfortunately I cannot see him in person at the moment. But we can see him through Skype. I have him on Skype if I haven't fucked that up yet. So let me just take it over to Mr. Lefty. Oh, I see what's going on. This is going to keep happening. Hey, guys in the comments, if you notice that you can't see him, it's because I keep forgetting to turn Skype back on. Alex, we got you, and you're live.
Hey, all right.
How are you, man?
Good.
What's what tell the beautiful people where you are, what you're up to.
I am in my apartment, which is also where my little studio setup is, which is great. And I am in Greenpoint, like you said. And
Gorgeous.
I do, for the record, think you should potentially shave that mustache off. Just going to put that out there.
The interview hasn't started, and I didn't ask you.
I know. That's part of my intro. Thank you.
So for those of you who don't know Lefty, he's I already said he's a talented producer. You know that. And if you haven't checked out his music, I highly recommend you do. He was actually... You may not know this, and this is a little-known fact. He was the bassist for Cobra Starship, and he was also on tour with Carly Rae Jepsen playing bass. So he's a very tenured musician, very talented tenured musician from whom I've learned quite a bit. He's got releases on Tool Room, Nervous, Box of Cats. We actually have a collaboration that we're working on at the moment, and he just yesterday released a single called Juice through Tool Room. Tool Room. I believe that's the correct pronunciation, right, Alex?
Yeah, that's how they say it in the UK.
Tool. So, I am interested, based on your background, how do you think your production is informed? Actually, here's my question. do you think your performance or your production is more informed by your performances as as a live bassist or as a live DJ or both?
That's a good question. It's definitely both. I think as far as like the sonics of my production goes, I try to incorporate a lot of live instrumentation in there because I do have a lot of experience performing, playing and stuff. So keys, I try to do like all my bass lines, either live bass, synth bass. I try to do most of it with either analog gear or just like a live performance. But I think like playing out DJing definitely also has a huge influence on the production side. You kind of just get a different vibe. There's different like influence that comes out of it. So I like going to see other DJs play. Like you hear some cool things, and you're like, oh man, like I want to make something that kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
Just like when you hear a groove or something, you're just like, ooh, remember this one, or you do the
Or don't
Shazam,
remember
or you
depending on how the
Shazam it.
night
Yeah,
goes. Yeah, right, right. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know how it's amazing to me how 1001 track lists is still so relevant when everybody at a show has Shazam. You know,
yeah.
like you can just Shazam it immediately.
I know, but the thing about 1001 tracklist that's cool is that you can see which DJs are playing the songs when you're not there.
I do
So
like that. That's true. And for me
yeah,
as a producer, it helps my ego when I can search my own songs and see if people are actually playing it. That's a nice feeling.
definitely, definitely. That's all it is. It's just a huge ego riser.
Hey, we all need it. We all need it. So you have a record out just yesterday called Juice
Yes,
on Tool
that's
Room.
right.
On Tool Room. Uh, Tell us about how that came about. Maybe how the song came about, how the release came about. Anything. Yeah, it's a killer song. And if you haven't gone and checked it out, if you're watching right now, go to Spotify, save it, and watch it later. Listen to it later because right now we're doing a live stream.
There you go. So yeah, that song is actually a collab with my buddy Nick from San Francisco. He goes by N2N. He makes a lot of really funky house stuff too. He's also a sick DJ. We did a gig together one time in Santa Monica. We did a session then. He came out here and we connected again, and we've kind of kept in touch over the years, become really good buddies. Yeah, he came over here and we were just kind of playing around with some stuff and busted out the bass, got a little house groove on there.
Ooh,
And, we
busted out
threw
the
a vocal
bass.
sample in there that we chopped up to make say the words that are in there, and then had somebody re-sing it. So there's something that's a little different.
Ooh.
So
So
yeah,
so so what you're saying is the lyrics that came about were actually from a separate lyric that you chopped up and then that created the new line?
yeah, none of those words except for I got the like
Hmm.
Lord, I got the juice are pretty much the only words in the song, and was able to make micro sampling happen to say those words, which turned
Gotcha,
out to be
gotcha.
pretty cool. It had a vibe.
I
So
think it's a killer track. I mean, my last live stream, I played one of your tracks, which I love very much. I mean, it's really it's a nice thing to really genuinely dig the music of your peers because uh, it makes it a lot more fun when you're like, yeah, I'm playing my friend's song not because he's my friend, but because the song's awesome and he's my friend. That's a nice benefit when you can
for
plug
sure,
your friend's stuff and it's not a pain, you know.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
I doubt anybody plays my music for fun. It's usually just because I twist their arm and pay them sometimes, but it works out.
you're in the folder that's like when my friends show up to the gigs, I got to play one of these. That's where Warner Case sits in the flash drive.
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm just kidding.
as soon as I walk out the door, you just change it immediately and apologize to the
It
audience.
is. Cut it.
Like, thank you all for not letting him know that we planned this ahead of time. So there may be some producers out there watching. I often get asked questions about how to get started. Now, I never have a good answer because there's no one way to do any of this. That's actually kind of one of the best and worst parts about the music industry and succeeding as an artist or any type of artist really is there's no exact route, one path. But if you were to be asked that by a producer, say you're talking to one who's watching right now, is there something that you'd tell them, you know what, definitely do this. If you're starting, do this.
I think as like a producer or DJ, just production, right?
I mean either. I was saying more production,
Either
but I
way,
guess
well, I
either.
guess I guess
Yeah.
they both are kind of one and the same at that point if you're going to be DJing and producing. So I think as a producer, it's really important to try to define a sound that makes you stick out.
Mm.
Especially nowadays with these tools like Spotify and Logic and Ableton that have a lot of like similar threading in the way things sound. It's really important to kind of stick out and make your own lane.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do that mentally sometimes too, because along the way, you have peers that are probably more successful than you when you're starting out, and at many levels for a long time anyway, past beyond that. But um, it's hard for people to kind of see your vision too. So it just, you got to really refine it, and that takes a lot of work and progress to get there. It's easy to get quick shots and things that are excitable, but at the same time, you got to really try to stick out. I think that's where you will truly succeed, is being different.
So how do you think they do that? I remember having a lot of issue with that, and is it focusing on one sound? Is it taking a more organic approach and seeing what kind of comes up? What do you think it is that helps you find when you have something that's unique to you?
I'll tell you what, I think a cool approach to doing that, which I learned a long time ago, is actually just getting in the room with other producers.
Hmm.
Obviously, you can get in somebody who's like more experienced than you. That's a huge bonus. But I think at any capacity, you can get in the room with somebody else and you can teach each other something or learn something new that you can then apply and put your own twist on it. And that's kind of what I've done over the years. It's like people, you go in the room with somebody and they're like, oh, check this out. Oh, you don't know about this plugin? Bam.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
true,
you're
true,
like,
true.
oh, shit. And then you go
Yeah,
home and you want to get it immediately and then apply it to your thing. So it's like,
yeah,
I think one thing that's really underrated is sometimes doing what seems really natural and easy seems like a cheap shortcut, or it doesn't feel like you're like making any progress, but that tends to be the thing that's most natural and really helps you stick out, and like you're just good at it already because it seems too easy, right?
right.
And I think it's important to kind of take advantage of that, because that's kind of what people start to like, when you have a little like sound in there, you can really run with that.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, on that same note, I think I'm conflicted about the idea of having a sound. Not that I disagree with what you're saying, but it's interesting because sometimes as the artist, I get tired of doing like my thing, and I need something new. But on the other side of that same coin, sometimes I'm feeling the exact same thing that I felt before, meaning I'm making a sound that feels just like a previous sound I used, but I'm getting it better. I'm kind of like honing that aesthetic. And
Yeah.
in my head, I often liken it to like artists, to painters, like classic painters, who would often, and still to this day, of course, a little bit, who would do the same kind of thing over and over and over and over again, similar iterations, and it would be basically them exploring a specific mode in many, many different ways. So some artists, that might mean a shit ton of paintings of squares, of different types of squares, but for some reason they're really fascinated about how the squares look on the page, and if you arrange them differently. And so to the outside viewer, someone might say like, oh, that's all he knows is squares. Like, well, maybe he's trying to find the perfect version of that.
Right.
Do you think that's something that you do if you're going down a path that feels familiar to you creatively? Do you stop yourself ever, or do you let yourself just go and go, you know what? Let's see where this goes.
I try to take an approach where, like, if I get an idea for something, to just put it down, But I do
Yeah.
get into trends on my own head of things that I kind of like doing, and then eventually I'm like, oh shit, I need to change it up and do something else. But like making music, like to me, they're just like songs feel a certain way, Especially in dance music, like you can do like different styles,
Sure.
obviously. But yeah, you can do the same thing and then maybe just do it slightly differently. Like take the same approach, but then use a completely different sound and be like, oh, that actually feels totally different, but it's kind of the same.
Right.
I think, and I was thinking about this when you were talking. It's like, a couple summers ago, my wife and I went to Barcelona, and there's a like small Picasso museum there, and they actually have like a lot of paintings from like a good chunk of his lifespan.
Yeah.
And when he started out painting, he was doing really refined classic art, and then towards the end, he was doing like the really childish kind of like one-line drawing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's still painting people just sitting there, but you're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's just doing it totally differently, but it's still the same, and it still looks like his stuff. I think what's important to remember is when you do try to explore and do different things, it's still going to sound like you when you're the one making it. Especially if you're a singer and you're
As
putting
long as long as you're being honest, that's the one caveat. I'm sorry to
here,
cut you off,
yeah,
but that's the one caveat I have to add, because if you're trying to mimic somebody else, then
right.
you're never going to be you. If you make something
Inauthentic.
honestly from your brain, it'll always sound like you to an extent.
Yeah,
As long as you're really, really going at it. Because I know plenty of people who are like, oh, I really want to have this artist's sound. I really want to do that. Well, if you're doing that, then you're never going to create something that's you. You're just constantly chasing somebody else's feeling,
for sure.
which is
But
a
like,
shame.
I mean, it depends on the application, because like I've produced records with a lot of vocalists and singers and this and that. So like they sometimes get afraid to do different style songs. I'm like, well, if you're singing on it and you sing on all your music, which you do, it's still
Yeah.
going to sound like you. It's just going to be kind of a different vibe, and that might be really appealing to your audience.
That's why my voice is on so much of my music, man.
That's it.
Always has me, even if it's me pitched down, so I can actually sound sexy. Uh,
Hey.
you never know. I mean, I don't know what really does it for people. I'm gonna check in on the Instagram Live really fast to see if we've gotten any. Because I told Instagram Live to. Is anybody watching right now? No, good. I told them all to go to Instagram to YouTube. Gorgeous. Let me just check on the comments really fast. I'm going to ask you another question before we go. But for those of you watching, if you want to ask Lefty a question, put it in the comments right now, and I'll check it quickly so I can ask him for you before he goes. So he will disappear for a second when I do that because I'm very bad at this, and running a live stream is still tough. In the meantime, hey Tosh, may I have some more wine, please?
Ooh.
Yeah. It's
Is that an orange wine you're enjoying over there?
no, it is a rosé. Yeah,
Oh,
I do
nice.
like orange wine, but this rosé feels appropriate. It's the first. I mean, we're in the same city. It's one of the first nice days in
Yes.
New York for some time. And let's see, Tasha, you gonna make an entrance? Oh goodness, there she is. There she is, everybody. You gotta.
Yes.
No
Serving.
one can see it. You gotta.
Today you are being served New York rosé realness.
You know you're a douche when you don't look at your glass when you're getting wine poured to you. You're like, yes. Anyway, what I was saying was my investments are doing splendidly. Oh, look at
I like
that wine.
I like that she was pouring while looking into the camera
Oh
too.
yeah, she's
From
very
this
good at being creepy. It comes naturally to her. I say with this. This is the first thing you. This is the last thing you see before you get touched as a child. Um, hey man, there's no FCC on a live stream. I can say
I
whatever
like
the
that.
fuck I want.
Hey.
Hey, we're having fun. All right. So let me ask you another question. We are doing a collaboration, or rather, we've done a collaboration.
Yeah.
I'd say it's done. Uh, how often, when you get sent a song, sometimes it's a work in progress, sometimes it's very early on, sometimes it's pretty much done. How often, when you hear, like a potential collaboration, how often do you hear it and go like, or rather, how many times do you have to tell people like, love it, not feeling it? Or are you fortunate enough to only get sent stuff you really, really like?
Um, I think it depends on a few things. For the most part, I'd say most of the time I'm super pumped to go in on it. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm like moody or just uninspired and just don't hear it when I get it, but I'm not afraid to kind of say what I think about it and be honest at least and be like, "Hey, I'm not totally feeling this." Maybe like or like it's happened before sometimes. But most of the time, I don't know, most of the collaborative things I've done start from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's easier that way when it's just like two people like putting the ideas together and then, it kind of just comes together from there. But I'd say 95% of the time I'm down to clown.
That's good to know, and I'm really glad that you said that. That specifically,
Yes,
because
thank
it
you.
wouldn't be an Alex or a lefty conversation
If it
without the
didn't end
phrase
with some
"down to
stupid
clown."
bullshit, yeah.
All right, so for those of you watching, I'm gonna go check some comments. Alex's face will freeze for a few seconds because I'm bad at this. Let's see what we got going. Oh, okay, I got some catching up to do. I'm watching on Insta and here. Thanks. I think it's Zier. I imagine it's got to be Zier. Thank you so much for watching on both. You get a great view of my. Here's my finger if
Legend.
you're still watching. Hi, viewer on Instagram who's looking at my thumb. The mustache works under a mask, right? Yes, it does. It actually works better under a mask because then no one has to look at it.
You know what's there, and that's
Greg
what's really creepy.
Greg Porter said lefty left. Dude, I think we got him back. It looks like the rest of it isn't shit. Yeah, I didn't get more complaints about the stream cutting out, so somehow I didn't fuck that up. So, hey, the stash says, oh, stays. Yo, here from NYC. What's up, NYC? What's up, high waisted? At least one Warner K song must be played in each set. Thanks so much. I will probably play all my stuff because I'm an egomaniac. Zira's question: how can I start to get better vocals for my track? Are there any services you use, such as Splice or anything? Why don't you start with the first question, Lefty? Zira's question is: how can I start to get better vocals for my track?
Okay. There are a few options, and I'm actually going to have to turn on my computer to check on this. Uh, First off, if you're not a songwriter, you're probably going to need fully produced or fully written vocals, right? There is a website that my friend in Poland just sent me that I'm going to look up right now that is actually just vocalists that do dance music, and there's all these different styles and stuff, and it's like you pay them depending on what you need. They'll record your written material, they'll write material and sing it and produce it and do it all.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, it is really cool, and it's actually like not going to break the bank. And what's cool is you basically submit your instrumental and they bid on it. It's a weird thing.
No, what?
It's pretty
How haven't
sick.
I heard of this? I'm
Or
learning.
like
Thanks. I'm
they
learning
put
something now.
they put offers down and you get to choose from there. Okay, I found his Instagram convo here. Let me keep looking for it. And I made an account. The thing is, it does look pretty small, but it is worldwide too. So I was only doing like a U.S. search, and there aren't like a ton of vocalists here. But I would imagine if you like went over to like Europe, and he works with all these Eastern European singers also, and they're actually pretty sick. He's also a nasty DJ producer. His name is Flamingo Cartel. He does really funky, some 90s funky stuff. It's cool.
Nice.
And he always gets really solid vocals, and I'm always impressed. I'm like, dude, where the hell do you get these from?
So say the name of the service again.
I'm looking for it right now as we speak.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think like maybe try putting some hashtags on Instagram and follow other singers. And a really good way is to reach out to them and maybe just start your conversation with a SoundCloud link and be like, hey, I'm looking for vocalists down here. Let me know if you're interested, or just reach out without the link so you don't pressure them. And they can,
I recommend that highly too. I mean, I think something that a lot of people don't think is as viable as an option as it is just straight up reaching out to somebody. I mean, I've collaborated with great people that I've never been able to meet because I just reached out and tried, and I've done that's a lot of how a lot of opportunities come to people is just by trying. So if you like somebody's vocals, send them a message. Why not?
definitely.
The worst thing that can happen is they say no thanks. So that's not a big deal.
Yeah, it really isn't. You can decide. Okay, hold on. He sent me. Oh, okay, I found it.
Yes.
It's spelled weird. It's
Okay.
called vocalizer.co.
Okay, here, spell it to me and I'll type it in the comments.
Okay, vocalizr.com. Here's a really incredible resource that is like totally untapped, I think.
Look at that. Look, there you go, everybody. Everybody watching, vocalizer.com. I just typed it. I hope I spelled it. You said vocal and then izr.com, right?
Correct, yeah. I haven't used it yet. I've explored, and I've been waiting to kind of put some stuff together and reaching out to some other singers. I mean, I've been in like the songwriting, producing game for a long time, so I know a lot of vocalists personally, and try to just do shit with my friends. But
yeah,
I'm actually going to look into this and just see if something cool comes out of it. Another thing I did one time was I kind of wrote some lyrics out and recorded a really basic melody and found these really sick gospel singers on Fiverr and got total original parts recorded and stemmed out and everything for like $75.
Not bad. Not bad.
You get to keep all your royalties. It's pretty sick. Same with this. Or you can negotiate with these people too on Vocalizer. I think depending on like their skill level, there's like different tiers. But I recommend checking it out. It looked really cool, at least a good way to like get things started. And another thing, you could always just try to look for some acapellas on YouTube and rip it and do the illegal sampling thing that everybody else does. But I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Lefty. You heard it here first. Vocalizer.com is one of his favorite things to use. By the way, if you're not looking at the comments, Lefty, Daniel Fry says, ABC Dialect Magic, Lefty Remix with a fire emoji.
Hey, thank you.
What's up, Daniel Fry from South Africa? Good to have you. Franco Samuel says, please work on some more music, man. I don't know if that means he thinks your music's bad, so you need to work harder. That's my assumption.
Okay. Noted. I'm going to do a little research.
Stop sucking. But thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I cannot wait for our collaboration to come out. Maybe I'll play it tonight.
You should.
I don't know.
You should. I'm going to be grilling some jerk chicken and referencing mixes so that I can make that one guy happy.
Sounds good. Keep them up. Well, I hope if you're chilling, I hope to see you in the comments. I'm sure people might have some more questions to ask you there. But in the meantime, I will say goodbye for now, and I'm going to go over to a DJ set to give the people less of my voice and more of my music.
All right, I'm going to put it on and jam out while I'm grilling, man. I'll catch you later. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. Take care.
See ya.
Thank you to Lefty. so much. So if you are just tuning in, we just had Lefty and an interview. It was wonderful. Lefty's the man. He just had a song come out yesterday on Tool Room called Juice. Go check it out. It's awesome. All of his music is awesome. His best song, though, in my opinion, is his collaboration with me, and it's coming out at some point soon. Stay tuned. So now I'm going to do a DJ set if I don't fuck it up. Technically, technically, it's kind of annoying. So let me just get this plugged in, see if I can make it work. So if you got song requests, put them in the comments. I want to hear about it. Also, talk with everybody in the comments. Make friends. You know, this is a community. Whatever. Put your Instagram handle in there. Send nudes to each other. I don't care. We need to occupy ourselves somehow in this silly, crazy quarantine. It's not silly. It's just inconvenient. It's important and inconvenient. Okay, so let's try this. DJ Sam, okay. Uh-huh. Tasha doesn't want to join until she's had enough wine, so I'm encouraging her to have enough wine. Come on, Tosh, we all want you to dance. You're so much fun to watch dance. You're a dancer.
I'm feeling commotion. Let my body own
everybody could politely welcome Tasha to the dance floor. She'll be our proper entertainment for the evening. actually kind of like it. You know, because normally it's me in charge. So I kind of like this little change up. What's gotten into you?
Walk right over me, just be my ATM. Take control of me, I'll come right back again. Walk right over me, just be my ATM. Take control of me, I'll come right back again. Walk right over me, just be my ATM. Take control of me, I'll come right back again. Walk right over me, just be my ATM. Take control of me, I'll come right back again.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. You know, because normally it's me in charge. So I kind of like this little change up. What's gotten into you? Oh boy, oh boy.
Encore.
So, 2 seconds. So, as you guys probably figured out by both the title of the track in the video and the song's lyrics, that was ATM, but I didn't want to give you too much of it. That seemed unfair to the release of the song. And Bush, can I have my chair back, please? Could you move your laptop, please? All right, guys, so I promised a cliffhanger with respect to the mustache. And today, I get to announce to you, the wonderful people who have stayed the whole time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Lefty. He's a good man and a good producer. I hope you enjoyed Tasha sitting there for no apparent reason. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of respite from this crazy thing where we could all feel a little bit more together. And I know I say that in my typical sarcastic tone, but I do mean that genuinely. So I really do hope you guys are all okay. I hope to see you all soon. I will soon. We are confident. As long as you work hard and, do the right thing, we'll get through this faster than if we don't listen to scientists and things like that. Anywho, so without further ado, I'm going to adjust my mustache. So, Tasha, would you do the honors, please? She's drunk enough, so we'll see what it turns out to be. Oh, let's see what the comments are looking like while this is happening. Hold on. If anybody's still alive. Excuse me. Pardon me. Woo! All right, let's see it. Make this good, Tosh. Make this good. Jesus, it's a face. It's not... I'm a human. Gentle. Sorry, I'm going to try not to move. All right? Should we just leave one side?
I didn't even do a good job on that side.
No, you didn't. Okay. Slower. Oh, my goodness. You're so excited to get rid of this thing. Take your time. All right. Is that as close as you get? Well, I'll shave the rest, but I guess we're going to deal with that for a little while. Anyway, thanks to you guys for voting the other day. I absolutely believe in democracy, so even though more people voted for me to not shave it, it was too close to call, and this person's vote matters. No offense.
The electoral college that really...
The electoral... Great politics joke, Tosh. You really nailed the enunciation, too. Anyway,
really switched to a popular vote.
is the point. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are all well. Please be safe. Please stay home where it is appropriate. And I'll see you at the next one. And don't forget, if you want to be in the ATM music video, send me pictures and or videos of yourself that are photo or money related to info@warnercase.com. info@warnercase.com before May 22nd. Thank you so much. See you all again soon. And yeah, that seems about right. You know? Now let me just figure out how to end this thing. Where's the fucking button? Is it